His filthy plants are blamed for a salmonella outbreak that killed 9 people 2 years ago. Now that peanut industry executive is back in the business. Fox News is learning Stewart Parnell, former president of the now bankrupt Peanut Corporation of America, is back at work now as a consultant to other peanut companies. A federal criminal investigation is still hanging over his head. Oregon Congressman Greg Walden was the ranking Republican at the hearing on the outbreak. Congressman Walden joins us now along with Peter and Jake Hurley. Peter testified at that hearing. His son Jake there is one of the kids who got sick. Peter, briefly tell us what happened to Jake.
Well, back in January of '09, about a year and a half ago, Jake got ill, and at the time we thought it was the flu. And after a couple days, he started having blood in his diarrhea, and so we took him to the doctor, and later found out from the lab results that he had salmonella poisoning.
And obviously he was a very sick little boy for a long time.
He was sick for 11 days, and we also had an infant at home at the time. And we were very concerned, not knowing how anybody in the family got salmonella poisoning, very concerned that she could get the salmonella poisoning, and that would have been possibly deadly for her.
Congressman Walden, you were in on that hearing in which Stewart Parnell, the executive at the center of this story, I guess refused to testify to Congress, right? Invoked his Fifth Amendment rights?
That's correct. Yes, he took his Fifth Amendment rights.
Just remind us, because, you know, Fox News covered the story at the time, but remind us about the conditions at that plant that Parnell was running.
Oh, they were awful. They were awful. There was all kinds of problems at that plant. It was dirty. One of his plants, it turns out, perhaps had never been inspected. And it really was disgusting to look at how they managed this product. And worse was the string of emails where it was pretty clearly documented that they were aware that the batch of peanut butter tested positive for salmonella. They had it retested, which you're not allowed to do under the law. And then he said, okay, ship it out. I mean, it's just outrageous. And, you know, the House acted in a bipartisan way a year ago on legislation to try and correct this problem, and the Senate has yet to take it up. So
that batch of peanut butter went out into the stores, into commerce, and little kids like Jake got sick.
You know, this was prompted the biggest recall in our nation's history. It involved 46 states, 691 individuals that were documented with salmonella poisoning. Our state epidemiologist here in Oregon says for every case that's reported, there are probably 20 that go unreported. 9 people died that we know of. And what happened here is they made the paste that went into all kinds of other products. So you had nearly 4,000 products recalled, nearly 400 companies involved all over the country. This company created an enormous, terrible problem for the lives of individuals and for many, many companies in the country as well.
And Congressman, very quickly, how is it that Stewart Parnell is back at work as a peanut company consultant?
Hey, you know, ask Eric Holder, our U.S. Attorney General in the Justice Department. I mean, I've read through a lot of the emails and all. It was pretty clear and convincing to me what took place there. Why, after nearly 18 months, they haven't brought charges, I cannot explain. This is not swift and certain justice for anybody involved, and that's really where we need to get to.
9 people died. Hundreds of people were sickened, including little Jake Hurley. Jake, this happened almost 2 years ago. I know that's almost half a lifetime for you, but do you remember being sick?
No.
No? Don't really remember it. But how are you feeling today, Jake?
Good.
You playing around the playground and having fun at school and all that?
No.
Well, at least you're not right now. You're sitting there with a necktie on, behaving yourself along with your dad, and it's great to see you and glad to know that you recovered. Jake Hurley, Peter Hurley, Congressman Greg Walden, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.